Hey everybody, welcome to the 2025 La Mirada Open presented by Innova Disc Golf. This is your MP40 lead card final round front nine coverage. We're here at the beautiful and historic La Mirada Disc Golf Course in La Mirada, California. This weekend our competitors are playing the Golden State layout, which is a combination of the two existing 18-hole courses into one 18-hole, 10,780-foot par 70 super course. This tournament also marks the second event in the 2025 California Disc Golf Series, hosted by Andrew Salazar and Ryan Riley. Let's have a look at our players. Currently in the lead is David Jordan Butato, who shot the hot round for all divisions yesterday, coming in at a -8. In second place, Brian Thatcher, who shot a respectable even par. He's going to be doing his best to see if he can chase down the leader. In third place is Derek Curdy, who shot a +2 round yesterday. In fourth place, Travis Cutler, who came in at +4. And currently in fifth place, Michael Medlock, who shot a +5. And here's our leaderboard after round one. Special thanks to all of the sponsors who made this tournament possible. Here we go, hole 1, 630 feet, par 4, slightly downhill to a double mandatory on this little hill here. You gotta be careful not to fade out left early or you're gonna be OB left of this gutter. Path on the right is also OB. The ideal shot is to hang it out over the path on the right and fade back in right around here, and then you've got a nice easy upshot up the hill and you can take your birdie.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble right here in Mirada. It's time for the lead card for the MP40 lead golf, ladies and gentlemen. From Pasadena, California, David Jordan Super Greasy Fritado.
Dave birdied this hole yesterday. Let's see if he can ring it up again.
And throwing it like he's leading it, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. Come on.
And that is perfect.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, from Long Beach, California, put your hands together for Brian Thatcher.
Brian gets it down there just past the mandatories.
Nicely done, sir. Up next from Orange, California, and Orange, you glad he's here, Derek Curdy.
Derek opts for the high hyzer. Interesting play on this hole, but looks like he's just trying to get it through the double mandatory. He'll have a play from there, a little bit obstructed.
Throwing next, ladies and gentlemen, from Long Beach, California, Travis Cutler.
This looks good out of the hand for Travis, but it's fading back too quick, and yeah, unfortunately, that's going to go out of bounds into that gutter on the left.
A gentleman who is part of the Society of Michael. all the way from La Habra, California, Michael Medlock.
That's early out of the hand or a little too stable for Michael. He's going to miss the Mando, and he'll be taking his third from the drop zone.
Have a great round, guys.
And that's a nice shot. He's going to have about 40 feet to save the par.
Film this, please? Yeah.
And looks like we've got fellow MP40 competitor Sean Baker trying to throw off the lead card, guys, with his leaf blower there. Derek, solid though. He keeps his focus and pipes a nice sidearm. Just gets into that branch. That's going to be a little bit of a tough lie, but he should be able to get up and down for par, no problem. Travis probably wanted a little bit more than that up the hill. Be a long look for the par save. And this is a really nice turnover from Brian. Doesn't quite stable up, but he'll have a 28-footer for his birdie. And Dave, farthest of the bunch, just a nice little chip shot up to the pin. And puts it just long, but still should be an easy birdie. Derek doesn't quite give this one enough. He's going to have a little work to save his par. Travis giving it a soft bid, but doesn't quite get there. Looks like Michael's also giving it a little half run. Ooh, and Brian just doesn't connect for his birdie, unfortunately. That was a great putt from Derek to save his par. And Dave with the only birdie on the card, and that is a good way to start. So the guys will tap in. And we'll move on to hole 2. 325-foot par 3. Got to stay left of this tree and get over this little hill. The hill makes it so that you cannot see this OB road or the island green from the tee. Best bet is to aim for the treetops here and hopefully either crash down inbounds or slide in below the low ceiling. This is looking really good from Dave. Drops in under those branches. And we got a spotter over here who signals safe. Looks like Brian also lands safe on the island. Derek going with the forehand, and this is just a layup. Just can't go too far over that hill or you land in that road. But Derek is safe as well. This one might have gotten away from Travis. Not sure if he was going for it, but he should have a good look at the pin from the hilltop there. Michael going for it. Big turnover. Hyzering back. Does he make it clean? No. Unfortunate break for Mike. It was a good looking shot out of the hand. Must just needed a little bit more power. Travis's approach shot's on a good line. Ooh, gets that last tree, but fortunately it kicks inbounds and he'll have a look for the par. Derek once again has a little noise, but he waits it out. And he lays this up under the basket. Michael's going to give this a little bid to save the par. Oh, and he just gets it nose up into the branches. He'll have to likely settle for a bogey. Brian sends it in for a birdie. He's on the board. Dave goes 2 for 2. It's a great start. Travis to clean up his par. Oh, and it just drops on him. He's not happy about that. These guys will tap in. And we'll move on to hole 3. Hole 3, first par 5 on the course, 890 feet, double mandatory. This thing feels like it's about 10 feet wide from the tee. Then you got to get past this line of trees, up this hill. Lots of guardian trees coming up, but plenty of space to get around. And then down to the pin in the corner here, OB long and left. This is a tough hole. Dave sneaks through the branches and he gets it out there in great position. Brian doesn't quite get as clean through the branches, kicks right, but he made the mandatory and he's not in a terrible spot. Derek low out of the hand. Oh boy, he's lucky that that didn't get all the way out of bounds. Those kicks can easily go to the street, and he's going to have to just pitch up through the mandatory, but at least he won't take a stroke. And Travis laces one right up the middle. That is how you draw it up. Michael also releases this one super low, but gets a great skip off the sidewalk, makes the mandatory, and unfortunately skips all the way out of bounds.
That's a roller coaster throw right there.
And Derek looks like he's going to go with the forehand flick roll just to get through the mandatory. And that's fine. He goes for the roller. He's trying to get as much distance as he can up this hill. Leaks out left. But he's in a good spot to try to attack the pin and save his par from there. Brian's second. Looks like that came out low, and he's going to be right up on that tree. That's going to give him a tough run up for his next shot. Michael plays a nice shot up the hill, but just gets into that tree. He'll have a play from there, but probably going to be pretty tough to save the par. And Travis, just a nice controlled shot, gets halfway up the hill, playing this hole exactly how you want to. Dave's going to go for the big roller. He wants to get all the way there. Gets all the way to the top of the hill. Probably won't have much of an eagle look, but he should be able to get up and down for his birdie, no problem. Mike's probably going to be about 90 out. Brian going a little risky, taking it out over the street. Looks like he fades back in bounds. He might have a birdie look. Derek playing a little bit more conservatively, and he'll probably have about a 30-foot look to save his par. Travis, this is on a good line. Might have left it just a little bit short, but he'll have a birdie look. Brian's fourth. He gets it up there nice, well within par range. Dave could go for the eagle here. He's just taking a little forehand approach shot and turns it over. Oh man, he just slides into the sidewalk out of bounds. That is just not what he was looking for at all. Michael for his par. He gives it a bid. Not quite. Just going to have to settle for a third bogey in a row, and that is tough. Derek wants nothing to do with that run. He's just going to lay up and take his bogey. Travis steps it in there, and that is a rewarding birdie. So Dave can save par if he makes this one. Oh, and it lifts on him, skips off the top of the basket. He'll tap this one in for his first bogey of the round. And hole 3 came in at 0.6 over par on day 1 with only one birdie on the day, and that was by David Bertotto. Day 2 it played a little bit easier, but still over par, 0.4 strokes. 2 birdies today. You just saw Travis get one of them there, and the other one was by Sean Baker. On to hole 4, 680-foot par 4 dogleg right, mandatory left of this first tree on the right. Then you got to get around the corner and down the hill. This path on the right is OB, as is everything left of this gutter. Narrow peninsula green. You're going to see forehands and backhand turnovers off the tee, and then mostly backhands down into the green. Travis will lead off, and he's going to go forehand. Ooh, and plays this one a little too tight, gets in those branches, and drops down right next to the mandatory. Brian's going to go for the backhand turnover. He also plays it too tight and gets in the branches up high and drops down just beyond the second trunk there. Dave also going for the backhand turnover.
That's tighter than me.
And again, too tight. And he gets a nice kick out into the open, so he'll definitely be able to attack the green from there. Derek going with the forehand and showing these guys how it's done. Clears the branches, gets all the way around the corner, and he's in a great spot to approach the green. And Michael plays the turnover out a little bit wider. He learned the lesson from his card mates, and he also is in a great spot to go for the green. Travis just playing a layup shot here.
Good luck, gentlemen. Have a great round.
And that's as good as it gets from where he was. Brian trying to follow suit. Puts it in roughly the same spot. And as expected, David's going to go for it. He hangs it out there over the path, and that fades back in exactly when he wants it to. He's parked. Michael also going for the green, hangs it out wide, and manages to clear those branches and fade back in. He'll be on the green with a look for birdie as well. Derek, best of the bunch. He's going for the green too. And it looks like he's safe. Might have scared one of the geese there. Ryan opts to go out wide here. Too high, gets in those branches, and he's going to have about a 40-foot putt to try to save the par. Travis is going to play it over the OB, and this is a little low. Oh, no. Tags the goose and never crosses back in bounds. That is a tough break. He's going to try to run this one to save bogey, but puts it up a little high and leaves it out long left. And Brian doesn't even want to run this par. He's just going to lay up for his bogey. Now Travis has got a tester coming back for double. But he grits his teeth, puts it in there, and he stops the bleeding. Derek leaves it low on his birdie attempt. He's going to have to settle for a par on this one, unfortunately. And Michael dropped it pretty much in the bullseye. That is an excellent birdie. Dave even closer. He taps out for his birdie, and those two birdies were the only two birdies on the day. Hole 5, 300 feet, par 3. Mandatory left of this first tree, and then just got to hook it around to the right. The gutter and right is all out of bounds, and there will be an out of bounds line up the hill to the left as well. Dave doesn't get this one turned over enough. He's in danger of going out of bounds up the hill, and he does.
Maybe safe. I overturned it yesterday.
Michael does get enough turn on his, and he'll slide up for a long birdie look from there. And Derek grip locks this one and gets into the branches, and it'll settle down in the fairway, but he'll just be looking to get up and down for par. Brian plays this nice, doesn't get a lot of ground play. That's a long look with OB behind, so my guess is that he's probably just going to lay up for his par as well. Travis, very similar, and no one really dialed this hole.
It overturned yesterday.
Derek taking the risky forehand approach, and this can skip down the hill. Lucky for him, it checks up. He's got a little bit of a tester for his par, but should be no problem. Dave, he just lays up. He'll take his bogey and move on. Both Travis and Brian are just going to lay up for their pars. And looks like Michael also doesn't want anything to do with this birdie run. He'll lay up and take his par as well. Derek makes a great putt to save his par. Few par tap-ins, bogey tap-in. And these guys will move on to hole 6. Hole 6, 680-foot par 4, dogleg left. Gotta be right of this mandatory tree there. Ideally, you just want to get out around all these trees to the top of this hill, and then you've got about a 350-foot downhill approach to the basket. The gutter is not out of bounds on this one, but the sidewalk farther down to the right is out of bounds. Derek puts this one out a little wide, but it's stable enough. It fades back in, and that's the traditional landing zone for most of these guys. And it's hard to get much more off the tee, and it doesn't really do you a lot of good. This is a pretty cut and dried hole.
Didn't look like it flared at all.
Dave looks like he's going to try and take it high and bite off a little bit more.
Yeah, yesterday we had help.
But as you can see, it's a pretty tight grouping. These guys all have roughly the same look into the basket. Michael leaks this one out right. It gets into those branches. Luckily, he gets through and curls up and doesn't get a roll away, which can happen on this hillside. Derek's going to go for a little bit of flex here. And this one hangs out to the right a little bit more than he wants it to. Does fade back, settles up at the gutter. He'll have a long look for birdie there. Ryan is going to play a hyzer into the pin. And that is in danger of standing up and rolling down the hill. Travis lays this one in there flat. This is a really good looking shot. Takes kind of a bad skip, and yeah, this one rolls away. Man, Travis just keeps going after those geese. Ooh, and he's flirting with out of bounds there.
He's turning.
He lucks out and curls up right in the corner inbounds. And a very similar looking shot to Travis's. Hopefully his settles up. It looks like it does. So sometimes you just get unlucky. Michael for his long birdie run. Leaves it short. He'll walk away with a par. Travis makes a bid, and he's running in there. Oh, but it doesn't fade back to the chains for him. Derek for his birdie. And just low off the cage. Luckily settles down right next to the basket. Ryan drops it in for birdie. Dave making it look easy.
Oh, now you get him?
I know. Trying to do a Travis?
Couple of par tap-ins, and they will hike up the hill. And you might want to stay clear of those geese, Travis. I think they got their eye on you. On to hole 7, 750 feet, par 4, double mandatory. Street on the left is OB, sidewalk to the right is OB. It's a tricky little shot off the tee. Definitely puts the fear into a lot of players. Then just get out across the flat, and the basket will be just past these first trees up here on the hillside. Ryan lets go low forehand. He'll get through the mandatories and settle up safe. Not a great look for his second. Dave is going for it, and oh, a little too much hyzer. He's going to skip out into the road.
Oh, forgot to say, hit the pull and skip in.
Michael lets it go a little lower than he wanted to, but he slides up through the mandatories, and he's safe.
That's the way it's so great. I love it.
Derek gets a double kick and avoids missing the mandatory, but he's got a lot of work left to do. Travis puts it out high, sneaks through the branches until that tree. He's going to be a little pinched off there for his second. Derek actually has a pretty good look to get out into the fairway. And he plays that to perfection. Michael gonna try to follow suit. And he lifts up into a branch and flutters out into the fairway. He should be able to get up and down from his par from there. And Brian's going for the big flex. Lets us go a little high and can't really see where that one went, but I think he landed out on the right side of the fairway there. And Travis is going to have to try to play a big hyzer out around to the right of this tree. And he leaves it out wide right, so not going to get any birdie looks out of these guys.
Yeah, right there looks great.
Dave just wants to put this one close to save his par.
Good shot, Sue.
And it looks like he has most likely done that. He'll have about a 20-footer. And Michael's upshot gets into the circle. Same for Derek.
I'm a little afraid to do that with my cart today with the umbrella on it. Normally no umbrellas like it.
And same for Travis. Yeah, so Brian actually got a pretty good ways up the fairway. Nice easy up and down for his par. If Dave makes this, we'll most likely see a par frame. And he does.
He's definitely of age. Yep. Good save.
And for a hole that was playing third hardest on the course at 0.7 strokes over par, these guys are not going to be disappointed with pars. Here we go, hole 8, 735 feet, par 4. Just got to get out and around this building into the fairway. The more you bite off, the more opportunity it gives you to try to run for this island green. Gutter to the right is out of bounds, and the sidewalk surrounding the green is also out of bounds. A little tough to see these drives, but these guys basically all are just pitching it up around the corner. The other thing you want to avoid is playing it too tight and getting caught up in these trees, but otherwise it's a pretty stock shot. Derek will be up first on his approach. And he gets this out real wide and hyzers back into the hillside, but must have hit that hillside and rolled down to the gutter, and he is unfortunately out of bounds. Travis, that looked like a layup. He's just going to keep it high on the hillside so he has an easy approach into the green. And he actually stood up and rolled there too, but his disc stayed inbounds. Michael's up next. And he's going for the green. This is looking really nice.
In the hole.
Oh, wow. Almost skips into the basket. He's going to have a 15-footer for his birdie. Really well played. Brian looks like he's making a run. Hard to track this one, but he actually did check up short just above that little tree on the near side of the sidewalk. And Dave, the only one of his group who can actually see the basket, plays it out wide. Skips into the green, and he's safe. He'll have a birdie look as well. Yeah, so Travis rolled all the way down the hill here, but stayed safe in bounds, and he's just got a little hyzer into the green. Plays that very nicely. He'll have that for par. Derek, not so fortunate. He's going to have to take a stroke. Ooh, and he leaves this one a little low, but just makes it across the sidewalk onto the island, and he'll be putting for bogey. And Brian with a nice lofty little 30-footer to take his third birdie of the round. He's on a roll. Dave hoping to get his birdie here. Oh, and he chains out right side. That's a disappointment. Travis for his par. This is a bit of a nervy putt. The OB comes in real fast behind that basket. And he leaves it low. He's going to have to settle for bogey. And Michael sinks his birdie putt to take the second of only 2 birdies on the weekend. We just saw Brian nab the first. Derek saves his bogey. These guys will tap in. And we'll move on to our final hole of the front 9. And here we go. Hole 9, 715-foot par 4, OB right of the gutter. There's also going to be a marked OB line on the left side at the top of this hill. Another out-of-bounds line is going to come off of the end of this gutter and curve down to the sidewalk on the right. You just got to be careful not to fade out too far left because the OB line is tighter than it looks on the backside of the hill there. Also, you want to avoid going out-of-bounds long across the gutter and off the tee. Brian drops a dime. This is in the perfect spot. Oh, but it rolls down the hill and just gets into the gutter. That is a really unfortunate out of bounds from a really good looking drive. And Michael plays this one by the book. Settles up right on the crest of the hill. He'll have a nice look into the green from there. Dave looks like he didn't get over on this one enough, and that is headed straight for out of bounds left. And unfortunately, I missed Derek's drive due to a camera issue, but he also hyzered out of bounds left side. Travis really trusting this one, turning it over.
Coming.
Fades back in and settles up short of the gutter. He's going to be a little bit pinched off. He's going to have to play a forehand into the green from there. So Derek throwing 3 here. He's going to go for the green. And does not clear the out of bounds bubble. So he's going to have to take his 5th from just about 100 feet up the fairway. Michael showing us exactly how you want to play this hole. He gets plenty of distance, goes a little long in the basket, but he'll have a decent birdie look coming back. Dave got it out of bounds way up here. He's just going to have a putter into the green.
There you go. Yes, sir.
And should have no problem saving the par from there. Travis, yeah, like I said, he's a little pinched down here. It's a long forehand from there. Ooh, this one's got to go. And he just gets enough ground play to get back in bounds. Brian, with an unfortunate break, just rolled into this gutter out of bounds, but he's got a relatively easy approach to the green to save his par. And he lays it in there nicely. Derek throwing 5. Just got to make sure you put this one in the circle, take your double, and move on.
Yeah, like watch this.
Good thing you wear a size 7.
Yeah.
Travis for the birdie. Just comes up a little short. And Michael for his birdie. Airballs it. He's going to be disappointed with that. He would have really liked to have back-to-back birdies there. Brian with a solid par save. Gets it done in 3.
That's a great shot. I can't believe it. I know.
These other guys will tap in their pars. Hole 9 played 0.21 strokes over, so no real surprise to not see any birdies there, but I'm sure a couple of those guys would have really liked to have those putts back. Derek takes his double bogey, and that wraps up our front 9. Here's our leaderboard after 9 holes. David still has an 8-stroke lead over Brian. Brian's playing a good round though, and maybe he can shave some strokes off of that lead on the back 9. And Michael Medlock has moved up into a tie for 3rd with Derek Curdy, bumping Travis down to 5th place. But this lead card is still holding on to the top 5. No threats from the chase card at this point. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the back 9.